Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday, November 13th. Drivers near Odem yesterday afternoon spotted a vegetation fire near the southbound lane of US 77 before US 37. It began around 3 p.m. According to the Texas A&M Forest Service, the fire covered about 4 acres and is now 100% contained. KRIS 6 News reports that crews were out yesterday mitigating hotspots in the area. Harlingen CISD officials said on Tuesday that the district's student enrollment numbers dropped by several hundred compared to last year. MyRGV.com reports enrollment was at 16,199 students last month, down from a projected 16,300. The previous year's enrollment stood over 16,700. The district is planning for its new $222.9 million budget. The district's fund balance covering its general fund and its food service operations was at $30.9 million as of the end of September. According to Ida Ambris, the district's assistant superintendent of business services, total assets stand at $41.3 million, with debt service at $1.1 million. Its total liabilities were at $10.3 million and debt service at $3.7 million, Ambris told board members on Tuesday. September's debt service showed a negative $2 million following August bond payments, but that was before the district began to collect property tax revenue this month. As of September, the district's general fund had collected $34.1 million in revenue, with $29.3 million coming from state payments. Meanwhile, expenditures were at $35.7 million, resulting in a $1.6 million shortfall. Ambris said that next month, officials plan to review district staffing levels. Last night, President Trump signed legislation that ended the 43-day government shutdown. Thousands of federal employees have been working without pay, furloughed, or laid off over the past month. It's also taken a toll on nonprofits like food banks and pantries that help families, some of those including said employees in need. In the Rio Grande Valley, San Benito Food Pantry Director Forrest Walker told Valley Central News that the need is all over the area.
We're accepting people right now from Brownsville, Sebastian, Santa Rosa, Rio Hondo, Harlingen. I mean, some pantries have closed. They have nowhere to turn.
Walker said people who are not getting full supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits or a paycheck due to the shutdown are lining up the door. Food pantry officials said about 600 people visit the food pantry every Wednesday and Friday. More than 6,000 people get helped monthly through the pantry. Walker also said recent cuts to funding could jeopardize an annual turkey giveaway. She said the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley has not yet distributed any turkeys to the food pantry. It typically gives away 1,000 to 1,500 turkeys each year. The pantry is accepting monetary donations to buy the turkeys it needs. And during the government shutdown, KEDT and KVRT reached out to several food banks across South Texas, including the Coastal Bend Food Bank and Food Bank of the Golden Crescent. You can check out those interviews on our website, KEDT.org, or on previous episodes of South Texas Midday, wherever you get your podcasts. The Caesar Kleberg Research Institute at Texas A&M University Kingsville has a new endowed chair, and Spencer Chioc has more details.
Founded in 1981, the Caesar Kleberg Wildlife Research Institute at Texas A&M University Kingsville has been serving the South Texas area in a variety of ways, from research in various fields like quail and deer. Institute Director Dave Hewitt discusses the goals of the Institute.
So our research programs are geared toward helping answer questions that will contribute to conservation, help landowners manage their land and their wildlife, give them the tools and the knowledge to do that right.
After becoming the director of the Institute around 9 years ago, Dr. Hewitt realized there was a need in the ranching community.
We will often do kind of a ranch visit. We'll go out and help them maybe go out to understand their challenges and then provide some kind of guidance or ideas on how they may work with those challenges. And increasingly, as I was talking to different landowners, they were always saying, hey, I need to know how to integrate my wildlife and livestock operations, because there's both such an important, kind of cash part of the economics of a ranch, the cash flow of a ranch, and culturally, they're both important, and people want to be able to maintain that productivity and those two parts of their operation.
When Dr. Hewitt was approached by the Killam family for what the Institute needed, a new endowed chair to focus on this type of work was the request, and the Sue and Radcliffe Killam Chair for Wildlife, Livestock, and Habitat Interactions was created. Dr. Fidel Hernandez was selected for the seat after serving as the endowed professor in quail research.
Here through the Institute, I was able to somewhat mesh with that, working on private land and studying quail or studying invasive grasses, and sometimes within the grazing context, sometimes another context, prescribed fire, whatever the case may be. But now to be able to do it formally within the position and to integrate that personal interest that I've always had to that more agrarian livestock and ranching side of things, it's just, I'm in heaven. I mean, it's a dream come true.
The management of invasive grasses are just one part of what is planned to be studied.
The amount of cattle that you have depends on how much vegetation you have. How much vegetation you have depends on how much rainfall you have. And predicting how much rainfall you're going to have is, anybody's guesses. And so how do you not only predict how much productivity is going to be on the land, but then also what kind of cattle you can carry into the future? It's almost like looking into a crystal ball and trying to make decisions now based on the future that you're not quite sure. And some of these conditions can change fairly rapidly. You can go into drought and a month or two later, the range just looks really poor, but you can't really adjust cattle numbers that quickly. And so how can you help landowners be profitable, protect the range, in an environment that's very unstable and unpredictable?
Dr. Hernandez is ready to lead the way, helping students and faculty find solutions to these unanswered questions and more as the new leader of the Wildlife Research Organization. For KEDT News, I'm Spencer Chihawk.
Deadline to submit a survey with feedback on proposed changes to Victoria Transit is today. The Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission is proposing the creation of new routes that will expand coverage area for transit services while helping residents' travel times. The new routes are expected to be implemented in 2026. Residents can provide a feedback survey at victoriatx.gov/transit plan and filling out a survey or commenting on the interactive map. Next week, residents can learn more about the changes, ask questions, and provide feedback in person during a series of come-and-go meetings hosted by the City of Victoria, the Victoria Metropolitan Planning Organization, and the Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission. Meetings will be held Monday, November 17th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Community Center Annex at 2905 East North Street, and next Thursday, November 20th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Victoria Public Library at 302 North Main Street. And in college volleyball, the UT RGV Vaqueros kick off the final week of the regular season tonight against the Northwestern State Demons at Prather Coliseum. The Vaqueros are riding a program-best winning streak of 12 matches, which is the 7th longest active winning streak in Division I women's volleyball. The Demons, on the other hand, have lost 27 in a row and have won only one set in Southland Conference action. The Vaqueros are currently 13-1 in SLC play. Match time is set for 6:30 p.m. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.